Now back to Vancouver's home of entertainment and what's going on in the city.
The Jenn Joe Show.
That was utterly atrocious.
This is the Jenn Joe Show.
On 1410, The Buzz of Vancouver.
Now, it's a pleasure to welcome to the show a guy that we enjoy watching on City TV's breakfast television. His name is Akash Sablock. His website is andnowyouknow.net. And we're just going to call you Tech Guy.
That's cool.
Does that work for you?
Totally cool. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Joe.
Hey.
Good to have you in studio. And, of course, we couldn't be having you at a better time because there's now the iPhone in Canada. And this is a pretty exciting phone, a pretty exciting toy, I guess, for a lot of people.
Oh, you bet. This is, how to say it, the buzz of Canada, what's happening right now. And this is highly anticipated. It's been almost a year.
Yeah.
This phone is going to change the way that we use cellular phones in Canada. And it's changed already what's happened in the States and actually in about 14 other countries in the world. We're actually one of the last ones to get this. So.
Wow.
Well, just out of curiosity, because this thing, we've seen this thing in application or we've seen it in print for a long time. Why did it take so long for it to come to Canada?
I think what it is nobody's giving a definite answer, but a couple things they had in the beginning. One was the network that was set up here. We've had a 2G network, which is a second-generation network, and now the GSM network here in Canada, which is under Rogers and Fido, have built the 3G network, which is the standard now that's coming up all across the world. And the new iPhone that's coming out on July 11th is a 3G phone.
Okay.
And the biggest benefit of 3G is the speed of the network. Mm-hmm. So right now, if you're browsing on your regular phone or your 2G phone, you can download a file. It might take you about a minute and a half. In a 3G phone, you're almost about 4 times faster.
Wow.
And you got to think about that. I mean, when you're on the road, you're traveling, that 4 times speed makes a big difference.
Well, what I think is interesting is that people tend to forget the basic purpose I want in a phone is to be a phone.
Yeah, a lot of people. I actually gave my father an iPhone to play with. This is about a couple of months ago. And he played around with the keys. And, 2 days later, he says to me, he goes, I really like this phone. I said, Dad, do you like the browser part of it? Do you like the email? Do you like the camera? He goes, no, I like the fact that the keys are big. The buttons are big. I said, okay. So, yes, there's going to be a lot of people that will use it just as a phone. And it is overkill if you're just going to do that.
Right.
But there are some definite features in there that are a total hit. And once you get used to them, it's really hard to go back to something else. So you have email. You have a web browser, which is a miniaturized version of Apple's Safari.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it does basically everything that Safari will do on a desktop Apple.
Okay.
As far as the applications, as far as the speed, magnification. Now the cool thing about this is it is a portrait phone, so it's up and down just like a regular portrait. Mm-hmm. If you tilt the phone sideways, it's got an accelerometer in there. Will actually turn the image automatically.
It does too.
Yeah, and then you can pinch and expand like a magnification. So if if you're something small, you can pinch. And now the cool thing is if you come to a form to a page where you need to fill out a form.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's obviously tiny. It's a very tiny screen. You can actually touch it, and it'll expand the form part of it. So it knows that there's an entry that's supposed to go there. It'll bring up a keyboard, and you can type in your entry, hit done, and it'll miniaturize it again.
Oh, nice. And it's so slim and compact. I just can't get over that.
Well, actually, Olivia, the coolest thing is you're actually looking at the current generation. Wait till July 11th. That's actually slimmer than the one that's out there.
Really?
Yeah, this is the current generation. Apple's very good about holding on to their products. You won't see an iPhone 3G until July 11th.
Okay,
Really?
So how durable is the phone?
I've dropped it about 3 or 4 times, and each time my heart sank a little bit. So there are cases available, thankfully. And I did bring a case here. Now, this is you can see it on my website.
And nowyouKnow.net.
And nowyouKnow.net. This is it's a Griffin case. There's companies that have already manufactured the cases for, and they'll be released on July 11th as well. The one that I've got on my site is the Griffin Clear Boost. So what this one does actually, it's a case, protective case, but it's also got an antenna booster. So if you're in an area, remote area that doesn't have that strong of a cellular signal, this will boost it as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, I guess, Akash, the big question that people have with the iPhone is that it's been a long time coming to Canada. Now we're getting it, you said July 11th. But we're hearing that the price tag associated with it here in Canada is a little bit more extreme than perhaps we were expecting.
Yeah, and that's, I find that very strange because we've have current cellular plans that have unlimited browsing for $7, $10. Bell offers now one for $10. And I found it very strange that Rogers did not follow what's been happening in the rest of the world with an unlimited data package. In the States, they had AT&T had a package, which is the only provider in the States, for $20 a month. And now with the new 3G, they're giving you $30 a month simply because of the higher speed network. So you still have the $20 and the $30 in the U.S. But here, unfortunately, the cheapest package we have is going to be $30, but that's limited to 400 megabytes. Now, it sounds not like a lot, but if you look at it, it's quite a bit as far as data. You get about 200,000 text emails.
Wow.
You get about 1,630 picture messages.
Right.
So, in essence, for most people, it will suffice. You can go up higher. You can get to up to 2 gigabytes, but then you're looking at about 115, I think it is, with a voice package for the package. And it's strange. You're right. I don't know why they haven't put an unlimited package into Canada.
Well, for most people, if I'm looking to buy the new phone and if I'm looking to get a decent package to get me going, what am I looking at shelling out?
Well, I would suggest start with the $65 a month package, the basic package, and then see how your usage is. And you can gauge it in the first month. You'll know by your first bill. Don't go crazy, Right. Just start with the basic package. If you know you're going to be a higher user, definitely go for something higher. And I think what's happened is because it's such a new network and it's such a new product in Canada, I think what they've done is they've sort of tried to restrict the usage and not, boom, out of the gates, 100,000 users using an unlimited browser, and sort of restricted to see how the network can handle it as well.
Oh, okay. So the network might not even be able to handle all of this.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember when City Fido from Fido was launched about 3-4 years ago, and they gave that unlimited phone calling package.
Yeah.
Their system just shut down.
Oh, yeah, and they had to switch. I actually still have the City Fido, thankfully, the $40 a month unlimited, but they quickly realized that wasn't going to work and switched it.
Yeah, exactly. I actually have the same package, and it's actually quite hard to. You can't get it now.
You can't. No.
It's a very popular, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to slowly ramp it up to get the unlimited, because not only with the browsing and the pictures, there's a couple of other features in this phone now with the 2.0 version of the software that's out. The biggest thing is Microsoft Exchange, and that's going to be push email. So similar to what the BlackBerries have now. Right. So you won't actually have to check your email; it'll send it to you when you get a new email.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at about a $65 package. What is the phone itself going to cost me?
The phone there's two versions, 8 gigabyte and 16 gigabyte. $199 for the 8 gigabyte. That's on a 3-year plan, and $299 for the 16 gigabyte, and also on a 3-year plan.
And are they being introduced in limited quantity?
Well, let me put it this way: when the first iPhone was launched, the lineup at the Apple Store was 3 blocks long.
Oh my gosh!
So it's harder. It's easier to get some concert tickets than it will be to get the iPhone. So. And
will you be able to get them at any Fido store or where? Okay.
Fido, Rogers, and there is now an Apple Store in Pacific Center now.
Right.
Do you think this is going to become a big deal up here too?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. I think so. I think there's some features there that a lot of people will appreciate. I mean, if you're a business user and you've already got push email and all that sort of stuff, that's great. But what Apple's doing is they're starting a site called Mobile Me, which is me.com.
Right.
And what that's going to be is that's where basically anybody can go up there and sign up, and you have your calendar, your contacts, your email all on there.
Wow.
And the cool thing about that is it's what's known as cloud storage. So if you're on your desktop and you've got all your contacts on there and you've got your schedule and you've got lunch on Friday, and now here you're at your lunch on Friday, somebody calls you and changes their lunch meeting for Monday, and you change it on your phone, it'll automatically change it on your desktop.
Wow.
So you'll always be current on no matter what device you're using.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing about the iPhone, Akash, is that, again, this is strictly through Rogers. So if you're not a Rogers customer, you're not going to be able to activate this thing.
No, you won't be able to.
Can you see that day changing down the road?
The only way that's going to change is if Apple designs a different iPhone, because right now it's on the GSM network, which is the standard in the world. Mm-hmm. The other two networks that we have, of course, are Bell and Telus. Those are on CDMA. It's a completely different phone system.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So the only way that they would work on the other network is if Apple produced a CDMA version of the iPhone.